This is Rogers Redding, National Coordinator of Football Officials. I'd like to welcome you to the third in this series of videos that we are producing for the media and the fans. We've got another interesting set of plays this week. I've got a couple of plays on here that I've got a lot of questions about, so I hope you'll enjoy these and learn something from them. Certainly one of the intriguing things about football is that every game has a number of plays in it that are interesting, that fans ask about, and so I hope you'll enjoy these plays on this week's video. Well, okay, let's get on to the plays. I show you this long pass run play to illustrate a point about the blindside block. Remember, we have a new rule that a blindside block is illegal if it is delivered in an attack mode with forcible contact. And notice on this play, a teammate of the player who catches the pass and runs in for a touchdown, number 8, he has an opportunity to blow up the defensive player with a blindside block, but all he does is screen him. He's very effective in preventing him from making the tackle, but he doesn't make any contact. This guy does a great job in effectively preventing the man from making a tackle and not making any contact with him at all. He has an opportunity to commit a foul. He has an opportunity to blow him up with a blindside block, and all he does is just get in his way, and that's just as effective as if he had blocked him. Here's a punt play that I've got a lot of questions about, so I want to put it on here for you to see it. What you're going to see is that the punt receiver bobbles the ball, never gets possession of it, and then a kicking team player comes down and catches the ball in the air and returns it for an apparent touchdown. Now, when the receiving team player bobbles the ball, it remains a kick. That is, the status of the ball is still a kick because he has not gotten possession of it. And the rule is that the kicking team is not allowed to advance a kick. They can recover it, and once they recover it, the ball should be dead right there. They'll have possession of it. They'll be able to put the ball in play, but they cannot advance it since it was a kick. So the official should have blown the ball dead right where the kicking team player caught it. Now, if the receiving team player had caught the ball, that is, actually possessed it, and then fumbled it, the kicking team would have been able to advance the fumble, but they cannot advance the ball if it's a kick. Now, the instant replay official comes in and reviews this play and correctly erases the score and awards the ball to the kicking team at the spot where they caught the kick.
The ball was not possessed, but rather muffed. Therefore, the Ole Miss's ball, first down at the 30-yard line on the right hash. Please adjust the clock to 12 minutes and 50 seconds. 12:50.
On this play, we have a personal foul for players continuing to block an opponent after he's out of bounds. You can see that they start to block inbound, but then once they get out of bounds, they just continue to push him further and further into the out of bounds area. So this is a foul, dead ball foul for unnecessary roughness for continuing to block a player after he's gone out of bounds.
Starting kick, unnecessary roughness. Receiving team number 2. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
This play gives us an example of an illegal formation where the offensive team has too many players in the backfield. By rule, the offense can have no more than 4 players in the backfield. Now, if the offense has 11 players on the field, that means they're going to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. To be on the line of scrimmage, a player must have his headgear break the plane of the line drawn through the waistline of the snapper. Well, you can see that hardly anybody's on the line of scrimmage on this play. The 2 players to the right clearly are in the backfield, and the ones to the left of the snapper are likely in the backfield. It's kind of hard to tell here, but clearly the 2 guys on the right are nowhere even close to the line of scrimmage. So this is a good call for an illegal formation, too many players in the backfield.
Illegal formation, kickers, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Be first down, Arizona.
This play illustrates offensive pass interference. Watch the 2 players at the top of the screen, the back that goes in motion and the tight end on that same side. And you'll see that the tight end, number 88, comes out and blocks on the defensive player, and then the other player at the back that went in motion cuts off that block to catch a pass. This is a clear case of offensive pass interference. It is a correct call. The rule says that you cannot block a defensive player beyond the line of scrimmage for a pass that crosses the line of scrimmage, and that clearly happens in this case. And this is a great example of why the rule is in place, because the one player, the number 88, clears a path by blocking the defender, and then the offensive player who receives the pass cuts off that block to catch the pass. So this is a textbook example of offensive pass interference, well called by the officiating crew.
Pass interference, offense, number 88. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
I put this play in the category of if you live long enough, you'll see everything. Here's one I've never seen before. The player who's supposed to kick off drops the ball to the ground, it bounces high in the air, and then he kicks it. Now this is an illegal kick. It is okay to drop kick on the kickoff, but by rule, a drop kick is when the ball is kicked as it hits the ground. It's not before the ball hits the ground, that would be a punt. It's not after the ball hits the ground, that's what happens here, and that's an illegal kick. It has to be as the ball hits the ground. So this should be a dead ball foul for an illegal kick, so the officials should kill the play immediately and enforce a 5-yard penalty. Here's a kickoff play where members of the kicking team are offside. We've paused this for you so you can see that several of the players are beyond the ball before it's kicked. And the receiving team has an option about enforcement of the penalty. They can have a do-over where the 5-yard penalty is enforced and then the ball re-kicked, or they can have the 5 yards tacked on at the end of the run. Now in this case, there was a fumble on the play, and the receiving team gets the ball, so they do have that option, and they choose to have it re-kicked. If, on the other hand, the kicking team had recovered the fumble, the only option for the receiving team for enforcement of the penalty would be to have a do-over after a 5-yard penalty.
With the hit.
Offside. Kicking team, number 49. Ohio State is elected to have the ball re-kicked after the 5-yard penalty.
Here's a play on a punt that illustrates a nice feature of the rule for a fair catch signal. You can see that the punt receiver signals for a fair catch, bobbles the ball, muffs it, and then tries to pull it in. And between the time he touches the ball and pulls it in, he is hit by the kicking team players, and that's a foul for kick-catch interference. Once he gives that signal, he has to have an opportunity to complete the catch as long as the ball is close enough to him where he can catch it. And that is the case here. The referee does a great job of explaining this when he's making his announcement. Now, I point out that this is why the fair catch signal is very important. If he had not signaled and then muffed the ball like that, he could be legally contacted by the kicking team and they could probably get the ball. But because he gave the fair catch signal, he has protection as long as he has an opportunity to complete that catch. So this is good work by the officiating crew to get this, and nice announcement by the referee to explain what's going on.
Kick-catch interference on the kicking team. The receiver gave a fair catch signal. He muffed the ball. By rule, he is afforded an unimpeded opportunity to complete the catch. He was not given that opportunity. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed these plays. I appreciate the feedback that we've gotten on our first couple of videos, and I look forward to being back with you in a couple of weeks.